Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Builder Call. And today we have a really awesome topic. So just a quick reminder, grab your convention tickets. For those of you guys watching the recording, tickets are sold out. So book your plane tickets and your housing accommodations and all that. And then there will totally be opportunities to get tickets still, September 4th through 7th. So all you guys with day jobs that tune into the recording later, we totally want you there. And for everybody live here on the call, we're super excited to be here with you guys. And as you know, we have a cycle that we do every week on this call. So the first week of the month, it's all about enrolling customers, builders, etc. The second week is about retention, LRP orders, wellness consults. The third week is about rank strategy, which was last week. And if you missed that call, you need to go back and watch the recording because we taught how to do a strategy for a brand new builder in doTERRA, and it's really powerful. And we've been doing tons of those lately and have just seen this like huge influx of new builders on the team because the energy is really just inviting and exciting. And the fourth week of the month is about belief. So are you guys ready to talk about building that success mindset? So the specific topic that we want to go over today is how to speed up your manifesting. Who likes the idea of that? People in their heads. I want to know what experiences have you guys had with manifesting just in general? Like you set a goal, you set an intention, it works, sometimes it doesn't work. What are your experiences?
That's hilarious. Cassie and I just talked about this morning. So things will happen, like I'll set the intention and things will happen. And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And then I freak out and worry.
Okay.
It's
awesome.
Especially if stuff just happens and I'm not an active participant besides just putting the wanting out there. So I'm like, okay, you need to calm down. Calm down. It's okay.
It's very tricky, isn't it, Amber? Because so we would call that conditional living, where your sense of satisfaction is conditional to the conditions around you. And so if the conditions around you are in your favor, then you feel happy inside. And if they're not in your favor, then you're dissatisfied, which is really a rough recipe for happiness because it's not really like you're in for a rough ride.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest struggle that I have is that the allowing piece is where it gets hard. Like things can happen and like I can feel amazing all the time. I just, I kind of have that freak out like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing something or I need to, I need to make this go and I need to see the next step, and things just happening without my input is very hard for me.
Yeah. I don't, what am I trying to say? I can totally relate to that. I have the same experience, Amber. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and he reminded me, he said, Jeff, it sounds like you're trying to focus on the how a lot, And I was like, yeah, it does sound that way, doesn't it? So it sounds like you just need to focus more on your wanting and your aligning.
You know that phrase where you say you're stepping on someone else's toes, like you're getting in their way kind of thing? So we could rephrase that and say we're step twoing. Like you're getting in the universe's way. You're trying to do step two. So let's re-clarify just a little bit. Go back and revisit just a couple thoughts so that we have a complete picture here. So the question here is, what can we do to speed up our manifesting? Because it's great when something manifests. It's more fun when it happens faster, right? We're human beings and we like things to happen quickly. And that phrase that you can't have everything, that's not accurate. That's just a belief that people buy into and it doesn't really serve, so stop buying into it. And the idea that things are out of your control, also inaccurate. It's just most of us have not learned to create on purpose. We just create in default. So the step two that we're talking about, that Amber's discussing here, let's talk about those three steps. So the steps for manifesting, step one, you ask, right? You ask by thinking about it, talking about it.
Or even experiencing something you don't want, right?
Right. Step two, the universe there exists in the universe a path of least resistance to what you want. And step three, you align with that path by continually realigning yourself vibrationally with what you do want. And so like Amber, you just said that you set an intention. You're like, yes, this is awesome. And then you start worrying, oh crap, what about? So you are now anti-step threeing. You're focused on the lack of what you want instead of what you do want. So you're far vibrationally in that point from what you want. What about this? So what about someone that, like, we all go through this. We set a goal at the beginning of the month. I want to be doTERRA Silver this month, or I want to hit my first rank, or enroll 3 builders, whatever your goal is. You set the intention, and then you leave it alone. You forget about it, and then you just go through your day-to-day life as you did before. How does that tie into manifesting to you guys? So you go to work.
It works the best. I think it works the best if you do it like that, because what I found, I've been working, like really working hard on this and meditating at least once or twice a day on just being aligned with me, with the God within me. And what I found is I'll put it out there and then I leave it alone and don't worry, and coming in different ways. Like, for instance, I said, okay, before I go to Hawaii, I want all of my bills caught up and this much extra money in the bank. And then I let it alone. And then all of a sudden, I think what the universe does is it just doesn't bring situations, it brings ideas. Because I had this idea, okay, go on Facebook and post your shopper project. And so I did that, and people started messaging me saying, I want a set. I want you to teach a class. Then I had a lady call and say, can you teach a class before you leave? And I'm thinking, oh man, that's going to be hard. But I was like, okay, I'll just put it out there. So I sent it out there, and I've had 6 people say, I want to take your class. And then all these clients start messaging me, and I'm like, okay, I totally got that. But it's like the ideas came into my mind too, not just, sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
Right, Corey. I would say that Andrew's I think example was. Is that the answer you were looking for? Or were you painting a picture of it?
No, I'm not looking for an answer.
Oh, well, Corey, I love the more detail you brought into this. That is our role, right? To ask and then go on with our life and moving on. I think the details that are missing here is that you probably moved forward with your day-to-day actions with positive emotion by not dwelling or worrying about how it's all going to happen. You just moved forward with positive emotion, trusting and knowing that you've asked and things are going to start happening. And I love that. That's often where our miracles start, right? Is an idea in our minds or an idea in somebody else's mind that is then acted upon. And you acted upon it by posting on Facebook, and now you have all this action of people reaching out to you and you communicating, but it's easy, like it feels good, people are showing up in the way that you've asked. And I love that. That's really awesome.
And let's be clear here, thought and ideas are not separate from action. It's all energy.
Yeah.
It's just energy in different forms. So that's not a surprise that the ideas come. That's law of attraction. In fact, that's how it usually happens, because it's easier for a thought to come than it is for a person or a physical experience to come. And so the way law of attraction normally works is you have one thought, another thought is attracted to that, and another thought like that is attracted to it, and you keep attracting thought and ideas until there's enough energetic momentum to where you now draw on physical things like people, experiences, and things like that. So if you catch yourself not experiencing the things you want, not attracting the things you want, there's really only one reason why that ever is the case. It's because you're not vibrationally aligned with what you asked for. That's it. Because law of attraction is law. If you are aligned with, if you are of the vibration, if you are vibrating at the same vibration as the thing you asked for, law of attraction by law must come to you. And so this topic of how do you manifest faster? Well, there's a few, like, I guess we call them little tricks that you can do to speed up the manifesting. And we love practicing these, and it's a lot of fun. And so just so you know, if you catch yourself thinking about the antithesis of what you want, that's like your really easy indicator that you're not lined up vibrationally, right? Like if, let's say that you want to be silver rank, and as you look at your back office, as you think about your team, you're thinking, oh, but I don't have a builder here, and this person's not showing up. There is not enough volume there. What am I now thinking about? All the lack of what I want, not what I want. And so the first, we could call it trick that you can do to speed up your manifesting is to spend a few minutes each day envisioning your intentions with powerful emotion. The powerful emotion really speeds it up. And basically manifesting could work like this. If you set a clear intention, like I would like to be doTERRA Silver this month, you set that intention at the beginning of the month, and then you never think about it again. But throughout the month, you don't ever offer an opposing vibration. Well, that would come to you pretty easily. But what most of us do is you might set an intention, and then you go to work and you get really ticked off at your boss, or you get really ticked off at your spouse, or you get something happens to knock you off vibrationally so that you're now not aligned with what you asked for. And so that's why manifesting doesn't come fast enough. Does that make sense? So if you can, so the whole point of step 3 is that you continually realign yourself vibrationally. And so let's say that Amber maybe woke up this morning saying maybe she has a couple one-on-ones and she is excited to share oils with someone, and she sets those intentions at the beginning of her day, and then meets a lot of resistance. And that's where it's important for Amber to go and realign vibrationally, not necessarily thinking about those initial goals, but doing something that's satisfying or joyful or happy, because those positive emotions are your indicator that you're aligned with what you want. Does that make sense? So who has some experience? Because I know that some of you guys already do visualizations and things like that. Who has some positive experiences in that area?
I have tons, but I'll let other people share.
Oh, Tara, we would love for you to share. I know, that was a tease.
Well, can I just share one thing?
Please.
So this morning I was reading, I don't know if anybody's read Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Yeah, it's amazing.
So good.
So I'm actually on the 4th law, which is the law of least effort.
Mm-hmm.
And do you mind if I just read a few sentences?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this law is based on the fact that nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease and abandoned carefreeness. This is the principle of least action, of no resistance. This is, therefore, the principle of harmony and love. When we learn this lesson from nature, we easily fulfill our desires. If you observe nature at work, you will see that least effort is expended. Grass does not try to grow, it just grows. Fish don't try to swim, they just swim. Flowers don't try to bloom, they just bloom. And birds don't try to fly, they fly. This is their intrinsic nature. And then I'll just read another, let's see. So the least effort is expended when your actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. So basically, this law of least effort is basically you can manifest your desires when you focus more on loving energy. And it says when your actions are motivated by love, your energy multiplies and accumulates. And the surplus energy you gather and enjoy can be channeled to create anything that you want, including ultimate wealth. So that was my morning reading. So it's totally in alignment with what you're talking about today. So, and it's so, yeah, this whole manifesting is I've been trying to get really clear on what I desire and just let the universe make it happen. And timing is everything. So it's just staying in that constant state of desiring what you want and just letting the universe just take over and knowing that it's going to happen. I think having the faith that it's going to happen, and things are just unfolding. I mean, it may not happen right now, but it will happen. So. And
well, I mean, the magic that we've learned is that if you are truly aligned, it can happen right now.
Right.
Why
Yes.
do you think there are so many records of spiritual leaders, Jesus and Lao Tzu, and people creating miracles? Because when you're so aligned, it must happen.
Right. Yeah.
I want to share one more example from one of our builders. She's not able to be on the call this morning, but she shared with us just the other day. She texted me and Andrew, and she goes, "Can I just share with you guys she goes, can I brag a little bit? Can I share with you about a manifesting law of attraction moment I had?" And she, had some goals to some financial goals to pay off some certain things. And she said to us, she was expecting this to happen, months and months down the road, but she was feeling good about it, really satisfied in her intentions, and they had a good plan in place. And unexpectedly, she wasn't even expecting, I think she's actually on. Oh.
I'm here.
Are you, Shelby, do you want to tell your own story?
Hi. No, go ahead. You're doing great.
I was going to say, I didn't realize that you were on. I didn't see that. Well,
I'm in the car, so I don't want to show my face and I look crazy. Go ahead.
But we can hear you. Tell us what.
Yeah, why don't you just finish off the story? I hope that's okay that I was sharing. I was trying to keep it ambiguous enough to.
Totally okay.
Okay.
So I've been working for a dance studio for 4 years now, and I've had the same pay range for the past 4 years. And I've been manifesting that I wanted to pay off some credit that we've had for, 4 or 5 months now. That's kind of just not exciting for me. Sorry, that's my dog in the back. But I found out after they gave me my check that they actually raised my wage $20 an hour this year. So that was crazy for me. And I was actually able to pay off not only my credit card, but my husband's credit card, and then also have some to put into savings. So we were crazy excited about that. Also this week, he got his tuition reimbursement for this program that he did. And yeah, we're just in a really good place right now.
I love that. Oh, I didn't realize you were on. I'm so glad that you were able to share that. Yeah.
I just barely got on.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, again, I think the key here is that we ask for what we want, and then we keep moving forward in the way that we feel called in the direction that we're moving in our lives, right? And Shelby, because you live here and we see you so much, that's part of it, but I also think you're really good at just being in alignment, especially in the past few months. Even in just conversing with you in conversation, you're just kind of yeah, I'm going to do this. And that's the way it's going to work because I'm going to do it. It just is, you have this immense level of trust in the process. And going back to that word faith again, faith and trusting, knowing that it is how it will work and it will work out for you. And look, already in these financial ways, I think that is so awesome. And you know what? Here, I have to share this. This inspires me. So according to law of attraction, as you get ready. So, Andrew and I have some similar financial goals to Shelby and Brian's, where we'd like to pay off all of our credit card debt. And by having someone in our awareness that is doing that, having Shelby in my awareness, to me, that is an indicator that I am more closely aligning with having that manifestation for myself, because I am having people in my awareness that are having it for themselves. So maybe I haven't fully aligned with the energy of having it for myself, but I've aligned close enough to the energy that I can share and hear about someone else's experience that's close to me. So this is also a great example and a great reason of why it's important for us to be in alignment and to do and be whatever we want and be able to share and be an example for people. So Shelby, thank you for being an example to me.
That example, Shelby's example is basically what it looks like when you put what Tara read into practice.
Exactly.
Where, in Tara read a perfect description of what step 3 is: realigning yourself vibrationally with who you really are and what you really want. Because what you really want is always a match with love and that beautiful, exciting essence that's you at the deepest level spiritually. And so it's so fun. So I just want to summarize the 3 little tips that we've been doing to speed up manifesting. And this is stuff we've learned from Deepak Chopra and Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham, things like that. So one of them is to envision yourself surrounded by the conditions you wish to experience with positive emotion. One little warning, you guys, since I've learned this, I can look back and see so many times in my doTERRA experience where I envisioned being a rank or having certain team experiences and my emotion was negative, which means that I wasn't actually seeing it from a place of having, I was seeing it from a place of lacking. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to envision myself being silver, feeling the lack of it. So that means that I'm not quite aligned. So I need to change how I'm thinking about it until there's a positive emotion. The second thing you can do is re-clarify what you're wanting often. And this is nice because it's something you can just do casually throughout the day. You know, you're driving down the road, you start thinking about your mother-in-law and how she says blah, 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 and you're like, oh, hold on, that's totally the what. What do I want my day to look like? I know. I want work to feel wonderful. I want dinner with my husband tonight to be so nice, and I want those two people I'm reaching out to about doTERRA, I want those to go really great too. Do you see? And so you just continually re-clarify what you do want. And then the third thing is probably our favorite, meditate and appreciate. And so this is what I know Tara's a pro at. I know Amber's really good at spending time to meditate regularly. My mom is too. And when you meditate, you guys know this, if you spend 15 minutes a day meditating, basically just releasing thought, releasing the resistant mind, that's where you're able to very easily align vibrationally with your inner being. And it's much easier to see and take inspired action and experience way, way, way less effort, because when it's inspired action, it doesn't really feel like work. It feels like you're following inspiration, which is energizing and exciting. So to tie this into why we're all here, our common thread, which is of course doTERRA, we have amazing, exciting things unfolding and amazing things to accomplish together here and individually. And so whatever your goals are, I know, in fact, almost every person on this call has a goal of being silver this month. That's really funny. Whatever your personal goal is, know that the clarity of your intention and then you're continually realigning vibrationally with that is what lets it happen in the least efforting way. And so as soon as it starts to feel like you need to like work really hard, or you've got to push through something, or like, oh, I'm not doing enough, well, that's where you know you're not even close vibrationally to what you asked for. So go re-clarify and spend a couple minutes each day meditating just to start from a clean slate each morning. Oh, such a healthy practice. Any other thoughts you have about this idea of speeding up your manifesting?
So Andrew, I would just, hang on. Okay, yeah, it would be nice for you to just clarify the emotion, the really intense emotion. Because one of the things, there's a difference between doing your manifesting and then just kind of, leaving it alone and not going there in a phase of, feeling desperate. But what about you said really intensify that emotion. How do those two work together?
Oh, this is a great question. So let's imagine you, any of you on this call, let's imagine you 4 months down the road, we're at convention in Salt Lake City, right? And it's that Saturday session and you get to line up because you get to go celebrate achieving gold rank or whatever rank you want to be at convention. How does that feel? Like, is there just like this stirring where you're just like looking around, looking at all these other successful people that are your buddies and your colleagues and you're all there for a unified cause? Or imagine yourself at the end of this month or the end of next month when you look in your back office and it says, cha-ching, your rank has been achieved. And you look in your email inbox and you've got a handful of messages from people that say, I cannot believe that I haven't been using this for my child all these years and this is the thing that helped. Thank you so much. Like, how does that stuff feel? So whatever that would feel like, that's the emotion that you want to align with vibrationally. When you're aligned with that, that's when the manifesting will happen in the fastest, most effortless way. So at the end of the month, when you achieve silver or gold or diamonds rank or whatever your goal is, that whatever that's going to feel like for you, if that feels like, oh, what, like just this huge release or just a celebration energy, or you just are so giddy you can't wait to call your mom and tell her about it, whatever that's going to feel like for you, that's what you want to align with today. And if you were to do an exercise to speed up the manifesting, if you were to envision yourself, that's what you'd envision. You'd envision yourself looking in your back office and it says silver, or enrolling that last person that gives you the volume you need for your rank or whatever it is. And then basically anticipating the emotion that comes with that. And if you were to visualize that and have a negative emotion or an emotion that's intense but one of desperation, you're like, oh, I really, really want to be silver. Like, but maybe that's what you're telling yourself, but what you're focusing on is the lack of it. Well, that's an intense emotion that's drawing you away from it very, very fast.
So let's back up a little bit here. So when we talk about energizing with emotion, there's two folds. Well, not even two folds, but remember that this is the path of least resistance, right? So if your least resistance is having a soft desire and a soft intention of a goal or a certain manifestation, then let that be your journey. If you can be in a space where you feel real pure positive emotion and you can energize your thoughts with that pure positive emotion, do it. The thing that we're being conscientious of is that sometimes people step into this space of, oh my gosh, I really want silver, I really want silver, I really want silver. And there is a space of desperation. There's a space of anxiety there that they're actually energizing, and they don't really feel it happy and joyful about it. They actually feel a little more worried or concerned or stressed about it. And so if that's where you are at, then have that soft desire, that soft intention, and again, path of least resistance. So maybe your path of least resistance is to feel really positive and excited about it. Maybe your path of least resistance is to have a nice soft desire. Some things that can really shift. I wanted to talk really briefly about meditation and the point of it. Meditation is to reset and reboot your mind, right? Which means that sometimes we kind of get stuck in our emotional patterns, so we need to disrupt the pattern of behavior so that we're thinking a new thought. So that could mean putting on a song that you really enjoy, closing the door and the shades because, and you want some privacy, and blasting that music up loud and just dancing and feeling really good and feeling really positive with that emotion. And that could be in a space that can do the same, that can have the same effect of meditating. The point, again, is to disrupt patterns of behavior. So energize with pure positive emotion. And if that's not part of your path of least resistance, then have that soft desire and desire what you want what you want, and move right along into other positive spaces of your life.
I love the soft desire thing. A trick in entrepreneurship is that when you're focused solely on the physical, and on the how, which we know is the opposite of what Tara read from Deepak and Nature Unfolding Effortlessly. When you're focused so much on the physical and on the action and the doing, it's easy to look at time and say, oh, like I could only have that if I put a lot more time in. And actually way more important than the time involved is the clarity and purity of intention. And a pure intention could just be a very soft desire, or it could be a really exciting emotion. And both of those can be very clear, pure intentions. So we have a call to rise to you, and this is an idea that came to Cassie and I yesterday. We were talking about how it's not uncommon to see a new builder pop into doTERRA because they see something that inspires them, and then nothing really starts spinning very fast. And usually it's because they haven't really had a clear intention. It's less about the time really, and it's more about the clarity of intention. And so maybe you said, oh, doTERRA would be cool, but then you go back to your regular day-to-day and just your life stays the same mostly. And you think about and energize the same things as usual. Does that make sense? So this is what came to us. Remember that 10 to 10 check-in that we recommend for brand new builders, where they text what they are going to do for doTERRA in the morning and then how it went in the evening? So we realized that's really like all about the doing, and we're more about the being on our team. So we decided we want to replace that. And our call to rise is we would like to invite all of you guys to participate in this with us for 2 weeks, starting today. And what we'd like to replace it with is we're going to call it a morning vision message. And each morning for 2 weeks, all you do is you just message your mentor what your dreams are. And that's it. And the whole point of it is so that while habitually most human beings are all thinking about what they don't want and all the resistant things they don't like in that throughout their day, you get to start your day off each day messaging what your dream is. And, and of course include in doTERRA, and if you want to include some non-doTERRA things in there too, but include doTERRA because you're messaging your doTERRA mentor. And so if you're brand new, like we have a few brand new people on this call, you might message, I want my first 15 enrollments to come to me this month so easily, effortlessly, and happily. And even if you message the same thing each morning, that's totally okay. But the point is that each day you're just re-clarifying, refocusing that intention, and that's it. So do you see, how do you like the feel of that as opposed to today I'm going to do this and this? Thumbs up from Amber. Amber, why do you like it different? What's different to you?
I like it because for me in particular, who gets stuck in the how, it's one of those, like, you just get to want what you want, and that's all you have to do right now. And that's okay. Just want what you want, and that's enough.
So, okay, well, there you have it. A morning vision text, and our call to rise for everyone listening to this call, on our team, off our team, is to, for the next 2 weeks starting today, do a morning vision message. You know, take Saturdays and Sundays off if you'd like to, whatever is best for you. But message your mentor each morning and just say what your vision is, what your dream is. And then throughout the day, your only job is to continue realigning vibrationally. And all that means is really finding things to appreciate, following things that feel satisfying, things that feel nice, things that feel good. And every time you meet something that feels resistant or heavy or hard or whatever, move back to something that feels satisfying. Because you can't be unhappy enough to create happiness. You align with it. So, all right, you guys, any other questions you'd like to ask about this idea of accelerating manifesting? Any other thoughts? We're good to go. Okay, we'll post the recording in just a few minutes. Please tag, there's so many people that aren't able to hop on this because they have daytime work. So please tag your team members in the comments below so that they're able to hop on and benefit from these calls too and hear your stories. And all right, you guys, much love to you. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and we'll see you soon.